here we are at last on the Isle of Mull. This is the Penigale Hotel in Penigale. It's going to be our home for the next 5 nights. We're up here on a long-awaited wildlife filming trip, but the only wildlife we're going to film today is out of the window on the feeders. We've got mallard and robin and blue tit and great tit, also a coal tit, and also a siskin. We don't see those back home in the summer. They come back north to breed, so that's nice to see. Let's hope the weather improves. Well, it's the next day, the rain continues and it's on for the day, I think. Maybe clearing this evening, but we're not going to let it stop us. We're out on the road in a moment, just looking out of the window of the hotel over the garden and Loch Scredane beyond. And according to Joy at the hotel, you get otters all along this coast. In the hotel room you get this map that shows you various places on the island, and also quite a few leaflets and general information. But this morning we're going to check out the shores of Loch Scredane, see what we can see. Okay, we're out on the road, just driving out of Penigale, scanning the shores through the torrential rain. All the roads on Mull are single track, so you have to get used to pulling over into passing places to let traffic go by. We're basically pulling over where we can, peering through the rain, see what we can see at various locations along the road. We haven't seen any otters yet, but we did manage to film some wildlife. This male eider duck, and plenty of herring gulls, plenty of oyster catcher, lots of those, common sandpiper, and also down on the shoreline there, meadow pipits, grey-lag geese, a distant curlew, a heron, lots of grey herons about. But the highlight of the morning was this. It's a ringtail, either a female or a juvenile hen harrier, and that's a first for me, just hunting on the shore of the loch there. Well, the rain has cleared at last, and the light is really stunning, really. Very atmospheric. We're going to head out, see what we can see. We've got grey heron on the shoreline there. Family of grey-lag geese. Oyster catcher. As I mentioned earlier, lots of oyster catcher. A better view of a curlew among the grass, a pied wagtail, and meadow pipits. There's lots of meadow pipits here. And now down from the hills, a couple of red deer. These are hinds, just come down from the hills to graze in the twilight. Unfortunately, still no otters. This is the only otter we saw today. And on the way back to the hotel, we ran into these beautiful Highland cattle, which just have right of way. They just wander where they want, and they'll move whenever they feel like it. But eventually, we got through and headed back to the hotel. Okay, the weather has much improved today, and we're on the road again because we've booked a boat trip across the sea to Staffa. We're just on our way there in the car to the port, and looking out, there's quite a few common seal on view. Also hooded crow, and more eider duck, male and a female on the rocks there. Okay, we've reached the port. This is where you catch the ferry across to Iona. And we've just got a kestrel flying overhead. There's the famous abbey on the island of Iona, and this is the boat that's going to take us to Staffa. Yes, I know the music was the Sky Boat song, but I'm using a little bit of artistic license, so for the purpose of this film, it's the Staffa Boat song. And this is the famous Fingal's Cave, supposedly the home of the legendary giant Fingal. And we're just about to land on Staffa. Okay, we're off the boat, and now it's quite a high climb, and a right turn to the Puffins, and this really is a steep climb. This is the view from the top, and then it's quite a rugged, undulating path to where the Puffins are, and it's really some view up here. And off in the distance there, those little white specks are the Puffins. Just saw this bird, I think this is a twite, up on the rock there. Stunning views from up here. But we've only got around about an hour on the island, so here are the Puffins at last. A lot of the people on the boat are just along for the trip, not particularly knowledgeable about wildlife, and they're totally amazed by how close you can get to the Puffins, only a foot away in some cases. Puffins spend most of their time out to sea and only come to land to breed. And that colourful appendage on their bill is only present during the breeding season. Well, it's time to head back to Mull now, and as we wait for the boat, we're greeted by this herring gull. Well, we've booked on a trip with a guy called Brian today, who's a wildlife expert and guide. And he takes you around in his minibus looking for wildlife. We're scanning the shore at the moment looking for otters. And indeed, within around about 20 minutes, there's our first otter on Mull. One of the reasons we came here. Just on the shoreline there, eating a fish. Magic. I think it's a dog otter. Excellent stuff. Okay, let's move on to our next location. Okay, here we are, and in the tree line just above the logs there is the nest of a white-tailed eagle, and there's one of the parent birds way up high, just flying off. And hopefully you can make out in the middle of the picture there the dark shape. It's actually a chick sitting on the nest. This is pointing the camera through Brian's scope. Probably hopefully make that out. Just see the yellow of the beak. Hopefully get a better shot later. But we're just waiting for the parent bird to return. It started off cloudy today, but the weather is improving all the time. And there, we didn't see it arrive, but there's the parent bird back on the nest. One of the parent birds anyway, looking through Brian's scope again. What a magnificent bird that is. Bigger than a golden eagle. And you can see it quite clearly with the naked eye. Really stands out. And just above us, the sky, they've got a pair of raven. And through Brian's scope again, pretty good view of the parent bird feeding the chick. And this is my first white-tailed sea eagle. Brilliant. Okay, off we go again. Let's see what else we can see. Going back in the same direction. We thought we'd just seen a otter, and there it is. Again, just offshore, eating the fish. It could be the same one as we saw earlier. Also good views of hooded crows. It's the best footage I've got of these. I've never seen a hooded crow until I came here. You don't get them down south. There's the otter continuing to fish just offshore. Okay, off we go again, and we're looking for another species of eagle this time. Golden eagle. This is supposedly a good place to see them. Actually beautiful around here. No golden eagles, but plenty of flowers on view, like these harebells and these common spotted orchid. This is something I haven't filmed before. These are dark green fritillaries. Well, unfortunately no golden eagles at that location, but we're going to try here. This is another good spot. Prime golden eagle country. Got 6-spot burnet moth. Appears while we wait. That's the nest site up there, although they haven't nested this year. There's just a sheep up there at the moment. But you've got to be patient at this game. And now Brian has just spotted one way up on the ridge there. Even with my longest lens, it's a long way off. Just sitting on that pile of stones. Once again, courtesy of Brian's scope, you can just make out the markings of the golden eagle there. We were hoping that the eagle was going to fly, but it never did. Get some flying footage, but as we look up onto the ridge, we've got red stags looking down at us. We're just going to move on again. Brian was just saying about the spot being good for male hen harriers, and indeed there we are. I haven't got my longest lens on at the moment, unfortunately, but you can make it out. Beautiful grey male hen harrier. Well, we had a cracking day with Brian, thanks to him for that. But we're out and about again because he gave us some information where we could see maybe some short-eared owls. Now this is the location. And almost immediately, there, fantastic, a short-eared owl just sitting on a post in this beautiful evening light. We get short-eared owls at home, but only in the autumn and winter, because I fly back north to breed. So on Mull you can see them here in summertime. Wonderful. It's probably the best, most pleasing footage I've ever got of short-eared owls. Off it goes to hunt in the beautiful Mull twilight. Well, it's our last day on Mull today. It's incredibly hot. We're just going to take a leisurely drive up where we saw the otter yesterday, and indeed there it is again. Probably the same one. Grey heron just been frightened off by one of the huge logging lorries that navigate these narrow Mull roads. Moving on a little bit further down the road, and I was just filming this oyster catcher and then just scanning around with the binoculars. And I saw this guy, another otter. Wonderful, much better view. just on the edge of the shoreline there. I'm so glad we got to see otters. That's one of the main reasons we came here. We get them at home, but they're mainly nocturnal. And I've only ever seen one at Falmere and managed to get some shots of it before I started uploading films to YouTube. But just having a roll and a pre in there, probably just fed. But I thought when we didn't see an otter for 2 days, I thought, have we really come all this way and not see an otter? But we've had some cracking views. Well, it's incredibly hot today, so we're going to find a drink and some shade back at the hotel. Well, we've only got a brief time left on the magical Isle of Mull, so we're not wasting it. We're out enjoying the evening, seeing what's about. We've got a buzzard on top of the phone line post there. And now we're back at where we saw the short-haired owl last night. Indeed, there it is, an even better shot of it sitting on the fence post there. I'm filming it from the open window of the car, and it knows full well we're here. It's watching us, but I'm going to risk getting out of the car and try and get a closer view. And that's a lovely shot of this beautiful bird. Absolutely fantastic. Well, that's almost the end of our stay on Mull and our time at the Penagale Hotel. The staff have been absolutely brilliant. Very comfortable stay, very helpful. And I'll leave you with this stunning view and sunset across Loch Scredane, and then some music and some of my favourite highlights from Mull.